um, from the chopper there? They're literally live pursuing illegals coming or attempting to cross the border. What goes through your mind, Congressman?
Sean, well, thanks for having me on. This has been going on since Joe Biden took office, and President Trump had reduced this flood of illegal migrants into a trickle. And then as soon as Biden came and took the oath of office, it went right back to a flood. Late April, 234,000 illegal border crossings. That's the most in any month in history, Sean. We've never seen it before. That's 1,268% increase from the last April where President Trump was in office. So it's been a remarkable turnaround, and not for the better. We have chaos on the border, we have corruption, we have crime, and the folks that live down there are tired of it, and they're leaving the Democratic Party in droves on the southern border with Texas and Mexico.
It's almost hard to keep up with, to be honest with you, because of all the crises that are happening in terms of baby formula, inflation, gas prices, mass shootings. The list could go on, and also border encounters that we've seen, historic numbers there as well. To report all of it, you almost just don't even have enough time to get to it. But there that is, a live chase, 234,000 new number in April there. Congressman, I want to move to that Uvalde school massacre, if I can, with you coming out of Texas there. Conflicting timeline, as you know, this investigation is ongoing. It's sticky. Taking the tragedy out of it and looking at the investigation, it is a mess. The communication is a mess. Now, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, though, despite everything, right now ordering school safety officials to conduct what they're calling random intruder detection audits. Your thoughts on that and the proactive stance that this governor has taken so far, and maybe what you'd want to see nationwide in terms of implementing something to keep our school children safe?
Sean, that's a great question. If I could wave a magic wand, I mean, one of the things I'm sick and tired of hearing from Biden and a lot of the Democrats is we need to do something. We need to do something. No, we need to do something effective, not just something. Disarming law-abiding citizens isn't going to make anybody safer. In fact, it'll make our kids less safe. So what I'd like to see is several things specifically to secure schools. One of which is we need to harden our schools with one single point of entry, particularly in elementary schools. But we also need to, the best security is a tiered security. So anybody that needs to come into a school needs to be identified, and then they're buzzed into the office. And they're not buzzed into the school until they fill out all the paperwork or do the checks on the computer. The other one is classroom doors should shut like hotel room doors and lock automatically. And even more importantly is a safer system. When I was on the city council 13 years ago, our school district worked with the city, and every school was wired with cameras, every classroom, every hallway, every inch. So if there was a threat, law enforcement could use that. There was a command center and then a mobile command center, and the law enforcement could identify exactly where that threat is and eliminate it. And the last thing is we need to change police doctrine, Sean, to when a school is threatened, they need to change the doctrine where they advance and eliminate the threat and not surround the school and wait it out.
Yeah, Tulsa mass shooting there, that hospital complex, they were in a matter of minutes. It was more than an hour in terms of the timeline at Uvalde. Just tragedy, understatement, not even a word for it. Final thoughts, really quickly. I have to get you just on the record if I can here. There is going to be gun control legislation when the Congress goes back into session. One of the pieces of it would be raising the age for purchasing a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21 years of age. Do you support that legislation? Where do you stand on these discussions?
It's real simple for me, Sean. In the 70s, the 26th Amendment was passed that said the age of consent is 18. That's it. So that's the 18. So now we're saying now, the Democrats are saying, if you're 18, you shouldn't buy cigarettes, you shouldn't buy alcohol, now you can't buy firearms. Then if they want that, then raise the age to 21. Make the age of consent. Let's repeal the 26th Amendment and make the age of consent 21. But that also means that you can't vote unless you're 21. And I think there should be an exemption for anybody on active duty military. But the Democrats want their 18 to 21-year-olds to vote because they overwhelmingly vote Democratic, but they want to take all the other rights away. It's very inconsistent and hypocritical in my opinion.
And then it just doesn't sound like it's going to go anywhere when we have these conversations, which would obviously be disappointing to constituents, et cetera. I'll leave it right there. I'm out of time with you. Congressman Pat Fallon of Texas joining us live. Congressman, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Sean. God bless.
You got it. All right, we have our panelists for today to react. Today, we're pleased to have former Georgia Congressman Jack Kingston.